135-pound women's fight, Nahdia Barrientos is technically making her MMA debut, but oh my God, I love this workout song. Yes, Nahdia.
So her C.A.M.O. MMA, at least, yes, I guess MMA, exactly. But I find it fascinating. She's been training for, she's been in combat sports. She's 18 now, just turned. Been training in combat sports since age 6.
Yes.
And has, from what I could tell, at least 16 pancration fights.
Yep. So let me tell you something about Nahdia. She don't mess around.
Clearly.
I was just mentioning how I teach kids jiu-jitsu. Nahdia works with me there. So I know Nahdia from Alliance at 3rd and K. She trained there when she was very little. And when we saw her again after turning like 16 or 17, we were like, oh my God, that's Nahdia.
I find it so fascinating. I've not booked any kids fights at the U of MMA or any time in my past, but to imagine that we're now at a point in the history of this sport where kids can start this safely at such a young age.
Well,
and then move ahead. And, you know, I mean, when I was booking an 18-year-old, I would think it would be just such a baby, but she's been preparing for this for so long.
Yeah, so technically it's her MMA debut, but really she has quite a bit of experience.
Exactly, yeah.
She also wrestled in high school, wrestles in college, so the pressure is familiar to her. And Nahdia hits hard.
Yeah.
So Sandra is from Classic Fight Team. She's 29 years old. I know Sandra has been in the game a while too.
Yeah.
The reason I know that is because I have 5 amateur fights with C.A.M.O, and she was a potential opponent for me like 2 years ago. It just ended up not happening. So I know Sandra's been training a long time. So for her, this is probably overdue.
Right, yeah.
So both of them, their records say 0-0, but I think their martial arts is going to tell a different story.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking about 2 debuts, but both of them are incredibly experienced and mature as fighters, more so than the record displays. Sandra also, as I'm told, is a purple belt. She's with Classic Fight Team, so that's Casey Halstead related, and you don't get that. You're not associated with this fight team and can get away with being a slouch by any means.
100%.
And on top of that, let's talk about the age difference here, 18 versus 29. Now, again, 29, I'm too old and I'm not going to talk about that, but 29 to me is super young.
Yeah.
And to be a purple belt at 29, you're in the groove. You're kind of peaking, I would think, bodily, physically, but 18 as well, like that's a huge difference for anybody, an 18-year-old to fight an almost 30-year-old.
Yes.
But yet, there's a lot of experience between the 2 of them where it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely benefits to being the younger fighter and to being the older fighter. I didn't have my MMA debut till I was 32.
Wow. And
a lot of people thought that was a bad thing.
I still haven't had my MMA debut, and I'm not planning until the next life.
Gamebred Training Center.
And that's exactly what she is. Nahdia is a beast.
She's so serious but calm in there. It's amazing.
Ooh, Sandra's happy to be fighting. Look at her.
I was just thinking, yeah.
Oh man, this is going to be awesome. Let's go, ladies. Also, Gamebred, where Nahdia currently trains out of, those people do not mess around.
Right.
They are.
Well, you're not gonna. I mean, if you're somebody like Nahdia, she's not going to be at a smaller gym that is kind of ho-hum about it.
For sure.
Yeah.
She knows better.
Here we go.
All right, let's go, ladies.
Nahdia putting the pressure on. Combos right off the bat.
That was a nice, nicely timed kick by Sandra. Nahdia's throwing a lot of strikes, being very aggressive. I'd like to see her sit down on her punches a little bit more. Interesting that Sandra is southpaw, which actually a lot of experienced grapplers are southpaw. Not necessarily because they're left-handed, but because that's kind of how you learn to wrestle in a lot of situations. Nahdia with a head position here, offensive on the cage. Let's see what she does with this. Good work by Sandra getting her wrist back. And she searches for the underhook and gets it. Good. Nice work, ladies. There. Oh, Sandra was orthodox for a second and then turned southpaw. Maybe she switches. Everybody be switching nowadays, huh?
Well, you know, it throws somebody off the game for a half second, and you get a reassess, and before you know it, somebody's back in the original stance.
That was a nice punch off the break. Let's see if Nahdia can secure this double leg. Sandra has great defense here. She has an underhook, too.
Good work getting off the cage slightly there. Now she's off. But Nahdia keeping the pressure on Sandra.
They both definitely know what they're doing in these grappling situations. No one's really giving up position, so they're both making it hard for each other.
Yeah, this is a clinching chess match here.
Good. I wonder if she's going to get that trip.
Trap in the leg. Yep.
Nice. Nice. So in order for Nahdia to keep throwing these strikes like this, she has to secure top control. So she has time. Okay. Good work, ladies.
Sandra almost there with that front face lock, escaping the clinch.
Yeah, so in that first round, we saw a lot of forward pressure from Nahdia. We saw a lot of offensive grappling from Nahdia, although Sandra definitely knows what she's doing, was slick on the counters, has a fast jab, and knows exactly what to do in the grappling situations.
Good defense getting off the cage. She was never really threatened too much. You know, close on that takedown. They probably scored that takedown towards the end, or gave Nahdia the takedown point towards the end there. But it wasn't, Sandra wasn't in any position of threatening the match being ended.
They both look extremely calm in their corners.
Yep. This is a new breed of fighter that we've got here.
For sure.
Young, debuting, but you're not brand new to this. And that's fantastic. That's only going to make better fighters, younger, and better matches.
They both look very focused and composed. Let's see what round 2 brings. So again, Sandra with the switching stances. Lots of kicks. I'd like to see both of them set up their kicks with some hands, just to sort of disguise their forward movement.
Yeah, this round is staying in the middle for the most part so far, as opposed to getting up against the cage.
Yep.
Do you think there was something, change in strategy, do you think, between the Nahdia's?
It's possible. It's possible. I know that when you grapple a lot in the first round, you can really get a lot of lactic acid buildup in your muscles. And if your opponent really knows how to defend well and you believe in your hands, it might be smarter to strike second round. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's what Nahdia's team told her. Or if that's just how it's panning out so far.
Well, we're getting a lot of exchanges either way here.
Yep. So now the forward pressure is coming from Sandra.
Great body kick there. Nahdia caught it up against the cage.
Nice catch,
now.
But she has to get her head up. There you go. Good. Nahdia's got an underhook here, working for wrist position. Nice knee, beautiful knee. Right in front of us, so I heard that one go in. Nice work from Nahdia here. Let's see if she gets the takedown or if Sandra reverses
flipping it around.
Nice.
Oh, hands on the cage here a little bit.
Oh.
Certainly accidental. That's a very instinctual thing, I've got to admit, right?
Yes. I would agree with that. You have to consciously tell yourself not to grab the cage.
Yeah.
Nice pressure from Nahdia, although now her back is against the cage and they flip-flopped. All right.
Wow, that went by like nothing.
I know. That
My
round was
goodness.
fast, huh?
Yeah. Hard to judge that one. I don't know.
I just cannot get over how calm these fighters are. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So interesting how I was talking about them not really setting up their kicks with hands, because I think that's why Nahdia made the read on that kick, and she caught it and then pressured her. I think that Sandra's got some power in that jab, and her teep is working for her. But if Nahdia makes the read, then she's just going to catch it again, and she's going to forward pressure, bring her to the mat. So it's interesting that, you know, even though both of these athletes have really high-level grappling skills, that all their grappling has just been against the cage for the most part, and a little bit down on the knees.
That's a really good point. Yeah, we haven't seen Sandra go for takedowns. There's been no groundwork at all, really, barely any, other than the end of the first round there. This match, as much as we've been talking about, they've both got a lot of experience in combat sports leading up to their debut. I've got to think also, though, that this is defining, it's their first official MMA match, so it's defining, their style. There's not a lot for either person to study or read in the middle of the match.
So right out the gate, Nahdia knows she has to win, so she forward pressures Sandra. Sandra has some nice defense with her kicks.
She's got her up against that clinch there.
And then turns it into a grappling situation, again, against the cage. Honestly, it's hard to avoid the cage work in this epic cage because it's a pretty small one.
Yeah, yeah.
Very rarely do you see the takedowns happen in the middle, just because there's not a ton of space for it.
Yeah, you take 2 steps and there's the fence for you.
Yeah, and so that's why we're seeing a lot of this today. I like those punches to the thigh by Sandra.
Nahdia's getting, she got off the cage through some knees. Now she's putting the pressure on Sandra against the cage. And halfway through the last round here.
More upper body grappling. Oh, it looked like Nahdia was going for the takedown, and then Sandra is the one who ends up on top.
Sandra's got the back. Nahdia.
Not quite.
Yeah.
Almost.
Almost. Yeah, I was going to say almost in trouble, but not quite. Nahdia is surviving here.
Definitely not letting her get her hooks in. She's trapping that wrist. So it can be tough for Sandra to really be mobile when Nahdia has control of her wrist. But it kind of looks like Sandra maybe got it back. Can't really tell from this angle, but her pressure is legit. Yep, so it's all about the hand fighting here for Nahdia if she has to be defensive. And then she has to work her way to her feet and face Sandra. But there's only 10 seconds left.
Yeah.
So Sandra's going to end up on top here. So Nahdia started the round offensively and finished the round defensively. I wish the bell didn't ring.
Again, let's hit that snooze button. We need 30 more seconds to see what happens.
Great work from these ladies. I think they both knew in the third round that they had to turn it up a little bit. Yeah. And they did. So great composure from both ladies. Good work.
Yeah, this is a first match to be proud of. And again, myself having zero experience as a fighter, but I have to think that that's a huge, important thing. If nothing else, win, lose, or draw, you want to be able to feel good about your first match.
Totally.
And go forward. And
honestly, going all 3 rounds in your first, official MMA fight, getting that cage time really helps. It's so, very important.
Yeah, you're not nervous about whether that happens again. You get past that milestone.
Look at Nadia's face in this. and Sandra is just so composed, and she's ready to counter with that side kick, teep situation. She was ready. Look at that. She knew. She saw that look in Nadia's eyes, too.
The first round plays, well, the first and the third rounds play out pretty smoothly to me. I give the first to Nahdia, third to Sandra. That second one, though, I'm teetering on, on a seesaw here. I don't know which way to go on that one.
Yeah.
You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you completely. I don't really know how it's going to go. I did see a lot more forward pressure from Nahdia, but that doesn't mean that Sandra didn't get her points off,
Yeah,
I fought once and I forward pressured the whole fight and I lost to some judges all 3 rounds. So you never really know what the judges are going to say.
Yeah, we got different judges here than what you see in the pro ranks. There are a lot of them, for the most part, are not yet pro judges, and you know, the idea of aggression actually not being a criteria, or not one of the higher criteria, I don't know that necessarily plays in the amateur ranks as much.
Yeah.
You know, I think that aggression probably does have much more of a factor when judging at the amateur level.
Yeah. It's funny because now that I'm thinking about it, no one really told me in my amateur fights like what the actual scoring curriculum, you know, criteria was.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm just going to beat her ass.
That's always a good strategy in general in this sport.
I think that's probably how these ladies looked at it too. I'm just going to beat her ass.
Right. We're about to find out here who did better.
Great work from both ladies.
She must have eked out that second round there.
Yep, so maybe aggression wasn't on the criteria at all.
Right.
Hey, listen, I won my first fight, split decision, and as they were calling out the points, and when I I heard them say that it was a split decision, I literally said to myself, am I about to lose my debut? It is insane the way that
sheer
feels.
Terror, right?
Because you put in so much work, you know. Both of these ladies did such a great job.